Good morning, dear students. Today we continue part 6 of chapter 5, cell, the fundamental unit of life. Okay. Up to cell membrane we have finished, and the next cell organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. Endoplasmic reticulum, very important. What is the meaning of endoplasmic reticulum? First we will see. Endo means inside. Plasmic means cytoplasm, and reticulum. The most important word in this concept is reticulum. Reticulum means network. Okay, reticulum means network. So the endoplasmic reticulum means endo means inside, plasmic means cytoplasm, and reticulum means network. That means what? By the meaning of word, we can understand that endoplasmic reticulum is a cell organelle which is present inside the cytoplasm. Okay. So see, plasmic means cytoplasm, and inside the cytoplasm, the network which is present is known as endoplasmic reticulum. Inside the cytoplasm, the network which is present is known as endoplasmic reticulum. Now we will see the important points related to this concept or related to this cell organelle. That is, first, it is attached with nucleus. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum. See, this network-like structure is known as endoplasmic reticulum, and it is attached with the nucleus. Okay, it is attached to the nucleus. Then it is network-like flat. Okay, it is network-like flat tubular structure. It is network-like flat tubular structure. Okay, it is network-like flat tubular structure. Okay, which is associated with the nucleus. Clear? Then next is, it is containing two parts. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum are of two types. Endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. First is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and second is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum are of two types. First is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and second is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now we will see what is the meaning of smooth endoplasmic reticulum and what is the meaning of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So we are going to see smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. But before smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum, we will see the endoplasmic reticulum having two parts. Okay, the endoplasmic reticulum having two or three parts, we can say. First is cisternae, second is tubule, cisternae, then second is tubule, and third is vesicle. Okay, Okay, endoplasmic reticulums containing three parts: cisternae, tubule, and vesicle. Okay, or it is known as vesicle. Now, see what is cisternae, what is tubule, and what is vesicle. We are going to see in detail. First, we will see what is cisternae. Okay, cisternae. First part is cisternae. Now, cisternae means what? For example, we have this type of endoplasmic reticulum. For example, we have this type of endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, now suppose on this endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are present. Okay, there are small granules-like structures which are present is known as ribosomes. Okay, so what we can say about cistern? Cistern is a flat tubule-like branch structure. Flat tubular branch structure is known as cistern. Okay, flat tubular and branch. We can see the branch. Okay, it is flat, it is tubular, and it is branch structure. Okay, now this small granule-like structures are known as ribosomes. Okay, these granule-like structures are known as ribosomes. Okay, and these are known as cistern. Okay, so if the ribosomes are present on cistern, then this type of endoplasmic reticulum is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, if ribosomes are present on cistern, then this type of endoplasmic reticulum is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we can write because of ribosomes, okay, this endoplasmic reticulum is a type of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Because of ribosomes, because of this granular structure only, this endoplasmic reticulum is known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So this is all about cistern. Cistern is a flat tubular branch structure and it contains some ribosomes which are granular structure. So if the ribosomes are present, then this type of endoplasmic reticulum is known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now the second part of endoplasmic reticulum is tubule. Okay, second part of endoplasmic reticulum is known as tubule. Okay, tubule. Now what is the meaning of tubule? Tubule is also flat tubular structure, but it is branched or unbranched. It can be branched or it can be unbranched. Tubule are the structure, or it is a type of endoplasmic reticulum which is flat, which is tubular, but it can be branched or it cannot be branched. Cistern, it is compulsory, it is branched, but in case of tubule, it can be branched or it cannot be branched. Okay, so we can draw tubule. It is also a part of endoplasmic reticulum. So it may be branched or may not be branched, but the difference between cistern and tubule is it does not contain ribosomes. Okay, it does not contain ribosomes. So if it does not contain ribosomes, that means what? If it does not contain ribosomes, that means this structure or this type of endoplasmic reticulum is known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, again I am repeating, if the ribosomes are present on the cistern, then it is rough endoplasmic reticulum. By mistake we have written smooth. Okay, but if the ribosomes are present on the cistern, then they are rough endoplasmic reticulum. By mistakenly we have done that smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So if the ribosomes are present on cistern, then it is rough endoplasmic reticulum, and here the ribosomes are not present. Therefore it is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This is a type of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. We can correct. Okay, if the cistern contain ribosomes, that means granules. Okay, we can have a common sense that if the granules are present, that would be rough endoplasmic reticulum, and if the granules are absent, that means if the ribosomes are absent, then they are smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So since the ribosomes are absent here, this would be smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and cistern would be rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and the third part is vesicle. Third part of endoplasmic reticulum is vesicle. Okay, vesicle a bag-like structure. Okay. And what is the function of vesicle? Vesicle function is the storing function. Okay, it stores the material. Okay, it stores the material. It is a storing material. It is known as vesicle. Clear? So endoplasmic reticulum having three parts or three types we can say. First is rough endoplasmic reticulum, that is cisternae. Cisternae have the ribosome, that is therefore it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Then tubules. Tubules are flat tubular structure. It can be branched, it cannot be branched. Okay, it may be branched or it may not be branched. Okay. Then if the ribosomes are absent, that means on tubule ribosomes are absent, therefore it is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Cisternae is rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the third part is vesicle. It is a bag-like structure and its function is to store the material. Clear? So this was all about the endoplasmic reticulum. This was all about the endoplasmic reticulum. And now what is the function of endoplasmic reticulum? What is the function of endoplasmic reticulum? So the function of endoplasmic reticulum is to transport the material between the cells. Okay, to transport the material between the cells. Clear? Then next is lysosome. Okay, the next vesicle. Okay, sorry, the next cell organelles is known as lysosomes. Lysosomes. Okay. Now the first question arises: who discovered lysosome? Who discovered lysosome? So okay, lysosomes was discovered by Christian D. Dewey. Okay, lysosomes was discovered by Christian D. Dewey. Now what is lysosomes? Okay, what is lysosome? First is lysosome. It is bag-like structure. Okay, it is bag-like structure. Okay, having single layer. Okay, it is bag-like structure having single layer. Okay, then second, now it contains digestive enzymes. Lysosomes contain digestive enzymes. Since it is a bag-like structure, so within the bag the lysosomes contain the digestive enzymes. Okay, so lysosome contains digestive enzyme. Okay, the main function of lysosome is to digest. The main function of lysosome is to digest the waste material which is present inside the cell. Okay, now lysosomes is also known as the suicidal bag. Pay attention here, listen it carefully. Lysosomes also known as suicidal bag. Okay, the next point is it is also known as suicidal bag. Okay, it is also known as suicidal bag. Now the question is, why it is known as suicidal bag? Okay, why it is known as suicidal bag? See, when the food material, when the waste food, okay, when the waste material, okay, water and the waste food material which is accumulated inside the cell, then lysosomes will burst and all the digestive enzymes will comes out and it will destroy or it will digest all the waste material which is present inside the cell. Okay, lysosomes is also known as suicidal bag because when the food material accumulated inside the cell, okay, or we can say when the waste material accumulated inside the cell, then lysosome will burst, all the digestive enzymes will comes out and it will digest or destroy all the waste material which is present inside the cell. Okay, so lysosomes is also known as suicidal bag. If anyone asks you what is lysosomes or what or why it is known as suicidal bag. If anyone asks you a question, why lysosomes is known as suicidal bag, then you can say lysosomes contain digestive enzymes. When the waste material is accumulated inside the cell, then lysosomes will burst and all the digestive enzymes will comes out, and that digestive enzyme will digest or destroy all the food material or all the waste food material, we can say. Okay, so who discovered lysosome? Christian D. Dewey. Okay, who discovered lysosome? Christian D. Dewey. It is single layered structure. It is single layer structure. It is bag like structure. Inside the bag it contains digestive enzymes. Why it contains digestive enzymes? Because when the food material is or waste food material is accumulated inside the cell, that would be digested by the digestive enzymes. When the lysosome bursts, all the digestive enzymes will come up. Okay, next cell organelle is Golgi body. Okay, next is Golgi body. Okay, Golgi body. Now see what is Golgi body. You is going to see. See, Golgi body is a flat, tubular, unbranched structure. Golgi bodies are flat, tubular, unbranched structures. Okay, so this structure is known as cisternae. Okay, and this structure and this bag-like structure is known as vesicle. Okay, this tube-like structure is known as cisternae, and this bag-like structure is known as vesicle. This is known as Golgi body. Okay. Now, what is Golgi body? Now, the first question arises: who discovered Golgi body? Who discovered Golgi body? So, the Golgi body is discovered by Camillo Golgi. Okay. Camillo Golgi was discovered the Golgi body. Now, we will see what is Golgi body. See, Golgi body is a flat tubular structure which is unbranched. A flat tubular structure which is known as which is unbranched. Now, what is the function of Golgi body? Okay, what is the function of Golgi body? Golgi body will transport the food materials between the cells. Golgi body transfer the food material between the cells. And if the question is asked, who transport the food material within the cell? Okay, if the food material is transferred between the cell, then the function will be performed by the Golgi body. If the food material has to be transferred, okay, if the food material has to be transferred within the cell, then the function would be performed by endoplasmic reticulum, and inside the endoplasmic reticulum, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum will perform the function of transporting of food within the cell, and between the cell the function will be performed by the Golgi body. Who discovered Golgi body? Camillo Golgi. It is having a vesicle, that is bag-like structure. Okay, it is having a bag-like structure. Clear? So this is the about the Golgi body, flat unbranched structure. Flat unbranched structure. Now it does not contain ribosome. One more point we can say: in Golgi body, ribosomes are always absent. In Golgi body, ribosomes are always absent. Okay. Now, what is the main function of Golgi body? What is the main function? Okay. What is the main function? Okay. It secrete or it helps in development of, this is the main function and this can be asked in the examination, and this is very famous question. What is the main function of Golgi body? It helps in the development of lysosome. Okay, it helps in the development of lysosomes. Okay, or one more function, it convert simple sugar into complex sugar. These are the two main functions of the Golgi body. Clear? Now we are going to see the next structure, which is known as nucleus. Nucleus. Okay, we are going to see nucleus. Draw the diagram with me. Okay, so it would be very easy for you. So the nucleus can be drawn by okay. Now it is circular structure, then it contains some band-like structure or thread-like structure. Okay, it contains some thread-like structure, and inside the nucleus nucleolus is present. Inside the nucleus nucleolus is present, and we can draw a liquid material which is present inside the nucleus. The liquid material which is present inside the nucleus is known as nucleoplasm. Okay, nucleoplasm. This is outer layer. This is inner layer. These are some pores present. See, these are some pores present. Okay. Now, this thread-like structure are known as chromatin fibers. Okay, chromatin fibers, and this dot-like structure is nucleolus. Okay. Clear? Now this is the structure of nucleus. So we'll see what is the main function of nucleus. Okay, what is the main function of nucleus? Now here also the first question arises: who discovered nucleus? So the nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. This question can be asked in the form of MCQ. Who discovered nucleus? So the nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. Now as you can see, there is one outer layer, or we can say there is one outer membrane, inner membrane, some pores are present. The liquid material which is present inside the nucleus are known as nucleoplasm, and this dot-like structure, small granule-like structure, which is known as nucleolus, which is present inside the nucleus. Okay, now we are going to see one by one each point, listening carefully. First, I want that you should see the diagram carefully. Okay, you should see the diagram carefully, then we will discuss one by one each and every point. Okay, now the first point is who discovered nucleus? Robert Brown have discovered the nucleus. Second point is what is the structure and basic structure of nucleus. So we will see nucleus having two layered structure, that is one is outer layer or outer membrane and second is inner membrane. Second, nucleus, in the nucleus small pores are present which are there for the transport of the material inside the cell or outside the cell. The material which is important for the nucleus can be transferred into the nucleus and vice versa. Okay, inside the nucleus, or some of the material can be transferred throughout or from the nucleus. Okay, so material can be transferred inside the nucleus or can be transferred out of the nucleus. Therefore, these pores are present. Okay, then small thread-like structure which you can see here, these are known as chromatin fiber. This is the main part of the nucleus which is present. This is known as chromatin fiber. Okay, now what is the function and why the chromatin fibers are there inside the nucleus? So we'll see this chromatin fiber. This chromatin fiber condensed to form a structure which are known as chromosome. Okay, this chromatin fiber condensed and forms a condensed structure which is known as chromosomes. Okay, now the question is, by which material chromatin fiber is made up of? The chromatin fibers are made up of two materials. The chromatin fibers are made up of with two materials, that is protein and RNA. Protein and RNA. Clear? Protein and RNA. Now what is RNA? This carries the genetic information. Clear? It is chromatin fiber is made up of protein and RNA which carries the genetic information. Okay, it carries genetic information. Clear? So chromatin fiber condensed to form a chromosomes which is made up of protein and RNA which carries the genetic information from generation to generation. Or we can say it is made up of protein and RNA. What is the function of RNA? It carries the genetic information from one cell to another, or one generation to another generation. So nucleus. Now one more important point, very important point. What is the nucleus? If the nucleus is present in the prokaryotic cell or not? Is the nucleus is present in prokaryotic cell or not? So the answer is, in prokaryotic cell the nucleus is not well developed. In prokaryotic cell the nucleus is not well developed and it is not carrying some membrane. Okay, so membraneless structure present inside the prokaryotic cell, and that membraneless structure is known as nucleoid. That membraneless structure is called as nucleoid. Okay, that membraneless structure is called as nucleoid, which is present in prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell. Inside the prokaryotic cell, the nucleoid is present, which is a membraneless structure. Okay, as we have discussed, in prokaryotic cell the nucleus is not well developed. In eukaryotic cell the nucleus is well developed with double membrane. Clear? Now next structure is vacuole. Okay, the next structure is known as vacuole. In previous lecture, when we had done the difference between the prokaryotic cell and the difference between plant cell and animal cell. When we have seen the difference between plant cell and animal cell, we have seen the one structure which is known as vacuole. Okay, if you remember that then it is well and good. Okay, otherwise pay attention here. What is vacuole? Okay, vacuole is a bag-like or sac-like structure Okay, vacuole is a bag-like or sac-like structure. Clear? Now, because of vacuole, okay, it is a bag-like structure. In animal cell, it is present at periphery, and in plant cell, it is present at the center. Okay, vacuole in plant cell and in animal cell. So this vacuole, it is a bag-like structure. Okay, in plant cell it is present at center of the cell, and in animal cell, it is present at periphery. At periphery. So vacuole is present at center in case of plant cell and at periphery in case of animal cell. So because of this reason, at plant cell as the vacuole is present at center, therefore the nucleus is present at periphery. In plant cell, if vacuole is present at center, then the nucleus will present at the periphery. And in case of animal cell, if the vacuole is present at periphery, then the nucleus will be present at the center. ओके, हम लोग ऐसे भी समझ सकते हैं कि प्लांट सेल में अगर वैक्यूल सेंटर में होगा तो वो न्यूक्लियस को धक्का देके पेरीफेरी के यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर करेगा. बट इन केस ऑफ एनिमल सेल इट इज प्रेजेंट एट पेरीफेरी, मतलब वो ऑलरेडी साइड में है, तो न्यूक्लियस कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होगा? सेंटर में. ओके, नाउ विल सी द फंक्शन ऑफ वैक्यूल. ओके, विल सी द फंक्शन ऑफ वैक्यूल. सो इट इज सिंगल लेयर स्ट्रक्चर. It is single layered structure. Then second point, the outer covering of vacuole, is known as tonoplast. Okay, the outer covering of vacuole is known as tonoplast. Okay, and the liquid membrane which is present, okay, the liquid membrane which is present inside the vacuole is known as tonoplasm. Okay, it is a single layer structure. Its outer covering is known as tonoplast. Okay, and its inner material, which is liquid material, which is known as tonoplast. Okay, now what is the function of vacuole? Why the vacuole is present in plant cell and animal cell? So the vacuole is a bag-like structure which carries or which stores the waste material, food and water. Vacuole is a bag-like structure which contain the waste material, food and water. Okay, then this is all about the vacuole. Its outer covering is tonoplast and its inner that is liquid. Okay, we can say inner liquid cytoplasm. Okay, is known as the tonoplast. Clear? So this is the vacuole, and last structure which is present inside the cell is known as nucleolus. The final structure we are going to see, nucleolus. Now the question is, who discovered nucleolus? Okay, who discovered nucleolus? Then it is Fontana. Okay, nucleolus was discovered by a scientist named Fontana. Okay, now what is nucleolus? Nucleolus is membraneless structure. It is membraneless structure. Okay, nucleolus is membraneless structure. Okay, now it contains or it is made up of RNA and protein. It is made up of RNA and protein. Clear? So nucleolus is discovered by Fontana. It is membraneless structure and it is made up of RNA and protein. Clear? So this was all about the chapter that is cell, the fundamental unit of life. In previous lectures we have seen the basic structure of cell. We have seen the difference between plant cell and animal cell. We have seen the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. We have seen each and every part of cell in detail. That is, first is cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, cell organelles, okay, and nucleus. We have all seen. Okay, so this was all about the chapter cell, the fundamental unit of life. I hope you have understood each and every concept in detail. Okay, so by seeing the video, try to make your own notes. Okay, that means what I am trying to say, if you will make your own notes, then it will be very helpful for your examination. Okay, because जो notes हम खुद create करते हैं वो बहुत लंबे टाइम तक याद रहता है. That can be remembered for a long period of time which we have prepared. Okay, so I hope you have understood. That was all about the chapter cell. Okay, now last information is there are 4 chapters in your examination, so we have completed all 4 chapters. Clear? So I hope you have understood. That was all about today's lecture. Thank you very much.